Warmer weather means the trail system that runs through Sioux City, connecting Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota, will attract a lot more walkers, runners, and cyclists.
And recently the trails have attracted cars and even golf carts. KTV's Gabriela Quinones joins us now from Sergeant Bluff with Live Link 4.
So, Gabriela, what exactly is going on these trails?
Well, on Facebook, the Siouxland Trails Foundation said that people have been misusing the trails. They claim that one board member's family member was, quote, overtaken and almost hit by a golf cart on the new trail connecting Sergeant Bluff to Sioux City. Another board member reported a car parked next to the Missouri River that they say could have only gotten there had they driven on the actual trail for quite some distance. Now, the trail itself is 10 feet wide, but if you look over here, it's really only about 5 feet from the road, and it's kind of scary to be right next to it. But Bob DeSmit says people are probably just confused because the trail is so new.
The trail between Sioux City and Sergeant Bluff just opened. And I'm sure somebody just thought, boy, that'd be a convenient, fun place to ride my cart, and not aware necessarily of the rules.
DeSmit says the first rule is to be aware and cautious of those around you. Stay to the right side of the trail and pass on the left. If you're passing someone going slower than you, it's good to announce, I'm passing on your left, or I'm passing on your right. If you stop on the trail to take pictures or to chat, then step off the trail completely to keep it clear. DeSmit says the big things not allowed are cars, motor vehicles, golf carts, ATVs, and motorbikes. You can use bicycles, rollerblades, and scooters on the trails. If you see someone misusing the trail, the Siouxland Trails Foundation says to call the Sioux City Police non-emergency line. That number is 712-279-6960. Police say officers will investigate the incident. Back to you in the studio.
KTIV's Gabriela Quinones live in Sergeant Bluff, Iowa tonight with Live Link 4. Gabriela, thank you.